now.
Hello and welcome back. I know it's been a while. I chose to take a sabbatical in Tibet to try to find myself. What I found is I don't really like Tibet, and it's hard to get there and getting through customs, but nonetheless, here I am. So this is, as a new retiree, my inaugural revisit to Sunday Mornings with Bob. So we're going to start out with not a really healthy kind of a menu, but something that I saw and I'm going to try to duplicate. I've never attempted it before, and so we'll see what happens. It's chicken fried hamburger sliders. Now, usually chicken fried steak is made with cube steak. Well, we're going to replace the cube steak with just your basic everyday sliders. And then we're going to make a special sauce. The real recipe requires or calls for, in addition, country gravy. We're going to skip that step today, but off we're going to go. Okay, so we're going to start with the sauce because then we can put it in the fridge to let it chill. First of all, we're going to start off with some Quippy Japanese mayonnaise. It's really good. I learned about this from one of my favorites on YouTube, and his name is Sam the Cooking Guy. I recommend that if you like to cook, you check it out. So we're going to start with some Japanese mayo, which is now empty, and then we're going to add one of my new favorites in lieu of ketchup, chili sauce. And you just kind of eyeball it to what you want the flavor to be. Then we're going to add a little garlic powder, a little pepper, and a little Himalayan salt. We're going to mix this up. It's all nice and pretty. And then we're going to stick it back in the fridge while we do the rest of our prep here. I've made this before for other hamburgers, and this stuff is really, really good. So we'll see. Okay, now we're going to prepare the flour. Very important part. I have 2 cups all-purpose flour here. Just your everyday that you find in your closet, grocery store, whatever. With that, we are going to add some Sam the Cooking Guy. It's a combination of salt, pepper, and garlic. We're going to add that in. Because this is going to give that exterior flavor in the crust. Then we're going to add some cayenne, give it a little bit of a kick. And this again, and you can leave the cayenne out if it's too spicy. It's your decision. I like it. And so we put some in. We go ahead and mix this together and get it ready. After looking at it, I feel like we want a little bit more cayenne. And a little bit more of this combo. Mix that up. Okay. Then we'll move on to the egg bath. I'm kind of guessing here. I have 8 sliders, so I may be a little bit over the top here, but I'm going to break 2 eggs in here. Then we're going to eyeball a little bit of milk, but you can use buttered milk, you could use butter, kind of whatever you have handy. Nothing magic about this part. So we'll mix this up now. Notice because I have to do the dishes, we're going to reuse this whisk because that's as opposed to having two. How about we only have one? All right. So get this stuff mixed together. Those yolks all bound in there, coming together nicely. All right, that's looking perfectly how I wanted it to. Now, we bring over our sliders. You can see I have a cookie sheet set up with parchment paper to let them rest on because we're going to prepare them and then we're going to put them in the fridge while we get the oil hot. So we'll take the first one here, put it in the flour. It's important that you make sure you get flour on the edges. Okay, then we put it in the egg bath. Make sure the edges are covered. See any dry spots, just make sure you get them. Then back in the flour, dry hand, get it covered. Again, don't forget the edges. Back's looking good. Then when you get it on the parchment, you need to add a little more. If you see a wet spot, that's fine. That's what you want to do. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing with the others, but I can show you one, that's plenty. So I'll clean my hands so I can stop the video, and then we'll be back. Hello. All right, we're back. Just took them out of the fridge. They've been sitting there while the oil's getting hot, so they're ready to go. Because this is the first time I've done it, we're going to fry one first to kind of get it down time-wise. I think about 2 minutes aside should work, but we're going to give it a test. We have oil here. As you can see, we're using a pretty shallow pan. Some of that is because I would rather do multiple cooks and less cleanup. And then I have this for my griddle, and it tells me that actually my oil's a little bit hot. It's going to come down in temp when I put that in because it came out of the fridge. But you want the oil at about 350. So let's see what happens here. There we go. She's a frying up. I have my internal thermometer that I'll be able to test the temp when we get it to about 160. Although this is going to come out on Sunday morning, we're actually filming this first one on a Saturday afternoon. And so while we're waiting for this to fry, it seems like a perfect time to have an ultra because I'm retired, and that's good. You might be able maybe to hear the frying. It's a wonderful sound. Here's another thing while this is frying, I strongly recommend these individual sheets of parchment paper. There's 30 pre-cut sheets. You can see them here. They're really handy. Ultimately, when I get these done, I'm going to wrap them in parchment paper to put them in the fridge so I can have them for snacks or lunches or breakfasts or whatever throughout the week. So, take a little look you see here. Coming along nicely. Hey, okay, we're back. Here is the finished product. You got 8 sliders here. We're going to test the first one that went in. I can tell you now that it takes, for sliders this size, about 8 minutes frying at 350 to get them to an internal temp of 160, which is what we like. So we have this. You'll recall the sauce that we made. So we're going to put some of that on here. And then we're going to take a bite and see if it turns out like I was hoping. Oh, I recommend give it a try. We're going to keep coming back with these. Great being back. Hope to hear from you guys. Have a great day.